It's time once again for the Real People Multi-Game Solitaire Mega Tournament. We're playing In the Shadow of the Emperor. I have to recommend to you, if you are the type to play solitaire games, games like this really benefit from Real People cards. I'm really enjoying the interaction between the players, and I think a lot more so than if they were just faceless colors. So games without characters already, especially, I think really benefit from having Real People cards if you're going to do solitaire play. Now, turns out there's other cards out there other than Real People cards that are useful for this kind of thing. I got a wonderful package in the mail from someone who's very kind that has some of those cards. Someone mentioned the Apprentice game, I guess, has people cards, which has stats. It doesn't have descriptions. For me, the descriptions really work in making decisions. The question and answer session. The game upstairs, though, we're seeing it's kind of a big turn. You know, if Half Pint, for those of you who don't know, Half Pint's been Emperor twice now. If she gets to Emperor a third time, she's guaranteed to move forward in the tournament. Now, what I'm wondering is going to go down between her and Fries, because they're both the big scorers right now, but there can only be one top scorer, and having a high score is going to translate into more cubes in the next game. So are they going to stay friendly, or are they going to start pushing each other around? I do not know. I think it depends on, you know, everything else that's going on. So enough jabber, let's go up and play. So once again, we've gone through the first three phases of the turn. We're actually supposed to be here now. So if we look at the money, Tice started out with quite a bit of money because she ended the turn. I don't know if you recall last video. The video got messed up at the end, so you probably stopped watching by this point. I'm not sure. She ended with $3 because she snatched the rival card out from under Weeder here. So that's why she has so much money. And then she also has the city. Now, Half Pint, she straight up just went from 0 to 11, which is pretty impressive. Saxony Duchy, having control of that's worth a hefty pile. If someone other than Weeder or Half Pint got it, it would be worth even more. So that's how she got her money. Weeder's also been investing in cities, and that helped her get some. Fries, however, still has really no economic engine to speak of. However, he does have control over all the religious dioceses right now. Descendants-wise, let's see. Half Pint had a son. She put her son in Mainz. Not a bad move. She has a good chance of taking it with her knight there in the tower, which can't be moved out. And also, when I say can't be moved out, it can't be moved out by external forces. She can decide to move her knight. She also has the Emperor city, so she's looking at 3 points of control versus Fry's 3. Right now, she can take it because she can win ties if she remains Emperor. And then let's see, Fries also, he got a son. Right here, the son got married to by Tice, so Tice got herself a point, and then Tice in turn got married to by Weeder right here in County Palatine of Rhine. A good move by Weeder to accept that, or to make that proposal, because that also causes some conflict between Tice and Half Pint in order for the Palatine of Rhine. Half Pint, I'm sure, would, you know, even though it's nice to cycle out, she wouldn't mind just stuffing everyone downward by holding on to things. Before I go on, I made a mistake. Fry should have one more taller than he did, so I just went ahead and corrected that. He starts with 7 because he controls the Trier Diocese, and there is a foreign city in that diocese. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, he should start out with 8, so he's actually looking quite a bit better than I earlier said. We've done our first round of actions, and starting with Emperor Half Pint, she bought a city. She put it in the Mainz diocese. You can kind of tell, you could guess that she's going for Mainz right now, and you'd probably be right. Fries, for his part, he did one of his standard Fries moves. He moved out of Mainz, didn't want to tussle with Half Pint over keeping it just for the victory point and for the vote. There's a lot of towers there, a lot of control for Half Pint, so it wasn't really worth holding on to anymore. He moved out to Bohemia, so he's got a good chunk in Bohemia now. 6 control, that's going to be, there's really, I don't know. I could see Weeder trying to hold it just because she wants to be emperor so bad, and Bohemia is worth the 2 votes, but it's going to be a lot of effort just to get 1 extra vote if she wanted to do that. Thais, on her turn, she placed a knight in Palatine of Rhine, and Weeder also put a city down in the Saxony Duchy. So that does a couple things for her. It let her spend some money, and it also is going to improve her control and allow her to make more money, which she can spend next turn. It was a turn of doctors, a round of doctors. So first, Half Pint did a doctor maneuver. She fixed up her Saxony Duchy. Fries then used his Köln Diocese power to fix up, I believe one of his, I think he had a 45-year-old in Bohemia. I think that was who he fixed up and made them younger. Thais, she did a doctor move on her person in Köln, and then Weeder did a doctor move on her person in Saxony. I think, you know, it's a condition sometimes where people will see one person doing a move and then they'll be like, oh yeah, I better think about that. And it especially makes sense since last round, or last turn, turn 2, we saw a lot of assassinations, which made a big difference. We had a lot of 45-year-olds in sensitive positions, and I think no one wanted to be the one to lose theirs. The only person who can do a doctor move anymore is now Fries, because he has the Trier Diocese and he can invoke its power to use a spent card. The doctor cards are all out. Okay, pretty exciting round. Started off with the Emperor Half Pint. She used her Palatine of Rhine ability, I believe. It's hard on these turns where they're not using a card, because then I kind of forget sometimes what they did. But I believe she used her Palatine of Rhine ability to place a aristocrat in the Saxony Duchy. That's making things really tough for Weeder, and I'll explain Weeder's decision making in just a second when I get to her. Fries did a great left field pull of the rival card. He's not messing around. He's just going to be the rival. Pretty good move. It's not going to help him score a ton of points this turn, but people are probably not going to vote for Half Pint again at this point. Thais, she did a movement. Did she move someone? I believe she moved someone from, oh yeah, she moved from Köln to the Trier Diocese. Now what that did was it helped her get, you know, she's got a good shot at Trier now, especially since since Fries is the rival. Half Pint's probably going to go for anyone else to take the electorate. Right now it's a tie between the two. We'll see if Thais trusts her for that or not. Weeder, it also freed up Köln, so Weeder had a choice between contending the Emperor and Saxony, and she really wants Saxony more. However, the Emperor Half Pint still has quite a bit of money to contend with her, and then she also gets to break the tie. So, you know, we wrestled with it for a while, and eventually she went with Köln. She's placed a knight there though, so it's a little safer move. She can still come back and contest Saxony a little better. With more knight movements. I mean, that's really what she can do. She's down to 2 thalers to work with. But again, she's kind of she has a better chance of breaking a tie with Fries than she does against Half Pint. Half Pint is incredibly confident in herself, and with good reason. She is a Monopoly champion of the world, or just the Baytown, Texas Monopoly champion. So that's almost as good as being Monopoly champion of the world. She is going to try and keep the emperorship. It looks like, at least judging from her card selection, she chose this one, which is kind of the Bohemia killer card. It lets her cancel out the votes from any one of these things. And, you know, she also has a good reason for her confidence, because she is going to be able to have a lot of votes. She's got a strong contention on a number of different electorates. However, she also has Tice and Weeder who are trying to take those electorates from her. Fries maybe was a bit premature in grabbing the rival card so quickly. He's not going to be able to use his prodigious funds to defend himself at all. So he's kind of a sitting duck, trusting on the competition of the others to take the electorates that Half Pint can use to steal the election. So as things sit right now, say if it looks like Half Pint's close in Saxony, Palatine of Rhine, and Marquisate of Brandenburg. So if she were to have all three of those, and I'm not saying she will, she's also going to get Mainz. That's pretty much for sure. She has 4 votes there. She can X out Bohemia, right? So then the only votes against her are 2, Cologne and Trier. Now, there are other cards that could be gotten to switch the votes. I don't think it's possible for Half Pint to keep all of these. Like, for example, right now, Saxony is in contention. Weeder went ahead and placed a knight there, so she now has the current high score there, as well as County Palatine of Rhine. But those are all tenuous holds. Marquisate of Brandenburg, Tice is going to have to make up 2 more influence points in order to take that. What else happened this turn? Well, Tice put a knight in Marquisate of Brandenburg, and Weeder put a knight in the Saxony Duchy. We're going to go another round. My mouth is getting dry and my heart is palpitating. Half Pint just successfully sealed up Saxony. The only way she could lose Saxony right now is if Tice intervenes by pushing out one of Half Pint's knights. The chances of that, I don't know. It's kind of a... it wouldn't help Tice at all. It would really be just to stymie her from becoming emperor. Half Pint is a clear leader regardless. I think people are probably more interested in getting points for themselves, but the possibility is there. So she married her singleton here, her 15-year-old aristocrat. So now she has equal number of little tower points as Weeder, so she can win the tie. Tice, on her part, she moved a knight from here to here, so she's currently ahead in Marquisate of Brandenburg. There's going to be an interesting competition going on, Marquisate of Brandenburg and Palatine of Rhine, between Half Pint and Tice. Right now, Tice has Brandenburg. Half Pint has less money. It's going to be hard for her to compete on both those fronts. She does have the tie advantage. Weeder did something kind of interesting, though. She had one single taler left. She could have saved it if she wanted to, but that's not the way Weeder flows. Weeder does not like to save money. She wants to spend her money every turn. That's kind of been one of my rules to go by when deciding what she does. And it's not the worst thing in the world to do in this game. She took the Pope vote, so she's going to have a vote regardless, and that could sway things. And, given the history between these two and how many times Half Pint has stymied Weeder's efforts to become emperor, and how Weeder had to swallow her wrath and vote for her in that first turn, I believe, of the game. It's a small price to pay, one taler, if she's able to get some measure of revenge. Okay, so Half Pint took the Brandenburg card. That's going to let her place this guy as a 45-year-old anywhere during the next phase. Basically just adds a free little power point for to see who's the elector. Tice had a long, hard decision to make. Okay, so she has the clear advantage, or she had the clear advantage in terms of money. Unfortunately, there's no good real stalling cards left. She could move her knights around to go down a little bit, but really she was in a position where she was one up on Half Pint in both of the two contested electorates. Problem is the only way she could, she's already got her knights deployed, the only way she can increase her amount of control is by spending 3 on an aristocrat there. And so that's what she ended up doing. She had to decide between Brandenburg, Rhine. She personally likes Rhine better. She likes its ability to put singletons down. However, if she can get Brandenburg, she's also going to be looking at an extra taller next time around. So that would be nice for her. We'll see if she can keep them though. Here is how it shook out. So Tice had played all her knights. She was sitting on 2 thalers. There was no way she could exert any more force here, any more forces, any more influence in either Rhine or Brandenburg. She could have switched one to the other, but it wouldn't have made a lot of difference. So she used her last 2 thalers to buy an indulgence, get herself a victory point. That allowed Half Pint to bring 2 knights in to Brandenburg, sealing it up for herself. So we're going to go ahead and go into Elector phase right now. Half Pint's going to take her Marquisate of Brandenburg, her Great Eminence card, and place it right there. So let's go ahead and go through. Bohemia obviously goes to Fries. So that's going to come down. He'll bring in this lovely couple there. Brandenburg, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tie will go to the Emperor. She will decide to keep it. Saxony 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, the tie is going to go to the Emperor. She is going to keep it. The Grey Eminence brings it up to a tie in Rhine, so she's going to keep it. She's going to have these 3 votes for sure in the election. Mainz, she takes 3 to 1. That's going to give her an additional victory point along with the 2 she gets for taking it. Köln is going to go, it's going to be a tie. Let's see, does she want to give it to Wieder or does she want to give it to Fries? She's going to, she's going to give it to Wieder, I think. Well, I mean, Fries, for the vote for sure would be against her, right? Fries has no choice in that. Wieder potentially could vote for her. It's not very likely, but there is a chance of that. So she'll go ahead and give it to Wieder, sure. Plus, Fries is the next highest in points, so he's her nearest competition. Trier, she will also give Trier away. Take it from Fries and give it to Tice. So Tice and Wieder are both going to get 2 points. And did I give her yeah, I gave her 2. Alright, so then we're going to go into Emperor election. And I already know how everyone's going to vote. She's going to vote for herself. Fries is going to vote for himself. She's going to vote for Fries. She's going to vote for Fries. The bribe was kind of shaky. Wieder despises Half Pint. So let's count up votes and we'll see if we have a new emperor or not. So that's 1, 2. Oh, she's got to use this card. Yeah, so this card is going to cancel out Bohemia. Fries does not get to vote in this election. So it's going to be 2, 3 in favor of the rival, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 in favor of the emperor. Yeah, it looks like the emperor remains. That's going to give her another 2 victory points. A taller, though she really doesn't need it. I think she's going to be maxed out next turn anyway, just with Saxony. And then she gets to move an emperor city. She'll probably move this one. She's not looking at really having a strong, being able to take anywhere. Let's see. Doesn't want Bohemia. Trier looks kind of weak. There's 3 there, and then she'd get a tower. I guess she'll put it in Trier. If she's going to take anywhere, that's probably her best chance. All right, that was some turn. I kind of felt like this was going to be the turn where a lot happened. The game feel has really changed each turn so far, and I think now, sorry about that. I think now things are going to change even more, because if we look at our board, you know, Half Pint is pretty much got it. it would be very difficult for people to come and take her lead at this point. She basically took on everyone in that turn, and made out, quite a bit. Fries didn't score anything that turn. Last turn he was kind of tied for the front runner. The only difference was he didn't have the emperorship. Pretty good, pretty interesting gambit he made, trying to become emperor. Things could have been very different if he had been able to win that vote, but Half Pint really just outplayed everyone. She did just what she needed to take or to keep those 3 electorates. As a result, since so many electorates... Oh no, Fries should have gotten 2 points. Never mind. Fries has 15. So, but still, he only got 2 points that whole turn. There wasn't... Because there wasn't a lot of changes, the points didn't change very much. But that really helps the leader. If the leader has a commanding lead and she can just hold on to things, the others aren't going to creep up on her too much. And she still scored 7 points that turn just through this and that. So really, I don't know how things are going to shape up. I mean, looking at the board, Saxony obviously is still in contention. There's a lot of double contention, a lot of contentions going on. A lot of people could take electors and score big in this next turn, but Half Pint is going to have the economic force. She learned that from Monopoly. The person with the money can just buy up all the properties and charge everyone rent, and that's kind of what she's doing. She's holding everything and keeping everyone else out. She is Monopoly. So we'll see what happens next time. I'm really enjoying this. I have to strongly recommend some sort of personality cards or some sort of personality to your players, because it really, especially for games like this, it really makes the game a lot more fun, I think. I played this game alone without the cards before, so I have a comparison to draw from. All right.